County, Indiana doesn't have any interstate highways or big factories, or even a single television station. Parke County has what it has always had: rolling hills, wandering streams, and an aura of peace and tranquility. Parke County was formed in 1821 and was named for Benjamin Parke. Although the county has seen many industries, including timber and mining for coal and even gold, farming remains the most important activity of the county's 16,000 residents. Parke County has more than its share of streams. As the system of roads developed, those streams had to be crossed by bridges. In the 1800s, covered bridges were popular. Less than a dozen men were responsible for the 33 covered bridges still standing in Parke County, more than any area in the world. With the sole exception of the 43-foot Phillips Bridge, all remaining covered bridges use the Burr Truss design. Developed by Theodore Burr, a descendant of Aaron Burr, this design was widely used for long timber bridges in the eastern United States. It was thought that covering bridges would protect them from the weather and extend their lives. It has also been suggested that horses are less frightened crossing streams in covered bridges. Portals were designed and painted to resemble barns, again they say, to make the horses feel at home. Since the 1920s, covered bridges have given way to modern structures of steel and concrete. Many covered bridges fell into disrepair and were routinely bypassed or replaced. In a strange accident of history, the Great Depression can be given the credit for saving many of the Parke County covered bridges. Restoring and preserving them became one of the WPA projects. Now people come from all over the world to see the 33 remaining covered bridges every fall. In truth, it's not the bridges that are so inviting, but their setting. Your first stop when visiting Parke County should be the Visitor Center in the depot built in Rockville in 1886. The best way to see the covered bridges is by following one of the 5 bridge tour routes. Each route is marked with color-coded signs along the way. Since all covered bridges and many county roads are 1 lane wide, visitors are encouraged to follow routes in the directions shown by the arrows on the map. The brown route goes west from Rockville to Montezuma and Mecca and back. Along the way, there are 4 covered bridges. The first is the Melcher Bridge, also called the Klondike Bridge, after a nearby town that was born in a short-lived gold rush. Montezuma lies on the banks of the Wabash River at the western border of Parke County. A man and his 8-year-old niece were on the road from Montezuma when they thought they heard the sound of a horse and buggy in the Sims-Smith Bridge. No one ever came out. And ever since, the bridge has been suspected of being haunted. The Phillips Bridge is the only one in Parke County using King Post construction. It's also the shortest. The Mecca Bridge, last on the Brown Tour, is retired. Built in 1873, this bridge has the sandstone abutments typical of older bridges. This schoolhouse at the west end of the Mecca Bridge has not only been restored to turn-of-the-century condition, but is actually used as a working classroom each fall during the Covered Bridge Festival. This Mecca school was closed in the 1960s. The building was adopted by local citizens who are restoring it meticulously to its original condition. People who want to use space in the building apply to the local board of directors. The Red Tour covers the south-central part of the county, passing 6 covered bridges. Crook's Bridge, built in 1856, is the oldest covered bridge in the county. It crosses Raccoon Creek. Built in 1914, McAllister's Bridge is one of the last covered bridges built in Parke County. The Neat Bridge is the last bridge built by J.J. Daniels in 1904 when he was 78 years old. Built in 1868, the Bridgeton Bridge is also on the 10 o'clock line, the border negotiated in 1809 separating white and Indian lands. The treaty lasted just 9 years. The Bridgeton Mill stands at the south end of the bridge. The first mill was built at this site in 1823. The present mill was built in 1868 and is the oldest mill west of the Alleghenies in continuous operation. The town of Bridgeton was established in 1825, 2 years after the mill. The original timber bridge which gave the town its name is long since gone, but the 1868 covered bridge and the town remain popular attractions for visitors, especially during the annual Covered Bridge Festival. The Jeffries Ford Bridge stands just off the Red Route. One of the last covered bridges, it was built in 1915. The Roseville Bridge is actually in Coxville. This 263-foot double span was built in 1910 to replace an older bridge destroyed by arson. The Harry Evans Bridge crosses Rock Run Creek and is the last bridge on the Red Route. The Mansfield Bridge crosses Big Raccoon Creek. Just upstream of the bridge, there's the Mansfield Rolling Mill. The mill first went into operation in 1818. Visitors can actually watch grain being ground into flour and browse through the first floor exhibits. Down below, the gears turn and the belts fly. This mill is still water-driven. The Black Bridge Tour runs through part of the Raccoon State Recreation Area. This is a great place for summer fun. The Raccoon State Recreation Area at Hardin Lake offers a full range of activities and facilities. In addition to the beaches and bathhouse, there are over 300 campsites, some with electricity and showers. The boat ramps and marina provide easy access for pleasure boaters and fishermen. With over 4,000 acres of water, there's plenty of room. The first bridge on the Black Tour is the Big Rocky Fork Bridge, also called Murphy Bridge. Most covered bridges were built of poplar, but this one is mainly pine. Conley's Ford Bridge is also built largely of pine. Unlike the Big Rocky Fork Bridge, this bridge is still in use. The Black Route, like the Red, passes the Bridgeton, Neat, and McAllister's bridges. Beeson Bridge was built in 1906 and moved in 1980 to its present location at the entrance of Billie Creek Village. Billie Creek Village is a recreated turn-of-the-century community. The village is much more than a museum. On weekends and during the Covered Bridge Festival, craftspeople actually work there, using the tools and techniques common around 1900. Of course, the things they make are available for sale, either directly or through the general store.
Three or four things at once. One of them, generally the one I spent the most time on, will melt. It'll get so hot it melts. However, it gets over 27 degrees.
Good boy.
The Blue Route goes north into Turkey Run State Park. The road winds through Marshall, passing under the arch, which was built in 1922 in memory of World War I soldiers. Turkey Run flows into Sugar Creek. Canoeing down the creek through the park is a popular summer diversion. Here, people in canoes, kayaks, and even inner tubes mingle with hikers under the suspension bridge at Turkey Run State Park. The park is a favorite spot for summer recreation, but a trip to the park is also a step back in history. A walk into one of the breathtaking ravines reveals more than 300 million years of nature's handiwork. Virgin stands of sycamore, tulip poplar, and black walnut trees are interrupted by deep sandstone gorges. Over 14 miles of hiking trails wind through the 2,000-acre park, which is just as fascinating and beautiful in fall and winter as it is in summer or spring. Of course, you do have to share the park with the local residents. The Narrows Bridge crosses Sugar Creek in the park. Built in 1882, this bridge was retired in 1960, but remains one of the most popular sites at Turkey Run. The Lusk House was built above the Narrows. According to legend, the site was selected to give Lusk a clear view of people crossing the stream below. The Cox Ford Bridge replaced an iron bridge washed out in a flood in 1912 or 1913. The arches are actually from a wooden bridge also washed out in a flood. The Wilkins Mill Bridge, built in 1906, is named for a mill which stood near the bridge at the time. The Rush Creek Bridge was built in 1904. It has a lower clearance than most of the bridges. It also has a metal roof. The Jackson Bridge at 207 feet is the longest single-span covered bridge still in use anywhere in the world. It also happens to be the only covered bridge in the county painted white. The Catlin Bridge was moved to the Parke County Golf Course in 1961. The town of Rockville was named for a glacial boulder located on what are now the courthouse grounds. The county seat was established here in 1824. The present courthouse was built in 1882. This is the third jail. It was built in 1879. Many of the buildings around the square date back to the 1870s. People here take preservation seriously. Each building has its own story, but it's best to leave the telling to the people who live here. The Parke County Museum is one of the best for its size. The building itself was erected in 1839, which makes it older than most of the exhibits. It's been a school and an armory, as well as a museum. The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well here. The shops are full of locally made arts and crafts. During the Covered Bridge Festival, as many as 1 million visitors combine bridge watching with shopping for unique items in a warm and friendly setting. The Yellow Route covers 5 bridges in the northwest part of the county. The West Union Bridge, at 315 feet, is the longest bridge in the county. The Marshall Bridge was built in 1917. It's the second youngest of the remaining covered bridges. Park Brown's Horse Farm supplies Clydesdales to Anheuser-Busch in St. Louis. The Yellow Route also passes through the Rush Creek and Jackson bridges and near the Catlin Bridge. Bloomingdale, originally a Quaker settlement, is home to the Friends Meat House, built in 1865. Friends were active in the Underground Railroad, and Bloomingdale was a major station. It's impossible to see all of Parke County in a day, but don't worry. The county has a variety of overnight accommodations, from over a dozen campgrounds to traditional motels. The Visitor Center provides listings year-round of in-home housing opportunities for out-of-town guests. In spite of its rustic appearance, the Turkey Run Inn has comfortable, modern rooms, both in the main building and in the cabins, perched on the rim of Turkey Run Hollow. You don't have to be a guest at the inn to enjoy the food and atmosphere of the rustic dining room. Guests have access to a wide variety of activities. You can try your luck at video games or ping pong in the game room. In the lounge, you can indulge in cards or board games or just watch television. In addition to the outdoor pool, now there's an enclosed pool open year-round for swimming day and night. The gift shop features locally made items as well as pictures and books about the county. There are several bed and breakfast establishments around the county. This one in Rockville is called Our House. The Victorian Italianate home was built in 1868. The present owners are restoring it to its original glory, filling it with antiques and period pieces. With meticulous attention to detail, the look and feel of the 19th century is brought to life here. A few blocks away, Suits Us offers comfort and warm hospitality. The house was constructed in 1883. One of the previous owners was Juliet Strauss, a co-founder of Turkey Run State Park. In addition to the formal parlor and dining room, guests can relax in the large kitchen and family room. Upstairs, there is a mix of modern convenience and Victorian charm. There's much, much more to experience in Parke County. This program is no substitute for the real thing. The beauty and warmth of this country and the people are there, not just during the Covered Bridge Festival, but all through the year.